Welcome to Beyond the Blueprints. I'm Jason Smith, and this is a special episode of More Than a Home. We are located in Summerfield, North Carolina today at Summerfield Farms, and we're joined by Matt Walraven of Walraven Signature Homes. While we're standing here to get started, just give everybody a brief introduction
Sure.
on how you got started building and maybe how you kind of grew to where you are today.
Well, let's see, it started in, I guess, '08. And
Good times, though.
yeah, it was awesome. I was young, no kids, freshly married, and I was pouring concrete for my brother. And he owned a company called Triad Construction Services, and we did residential and commercial concrete all over the Southeast. And he bet me $500, couldn't get my license. So, of course, being a younger brother, I'm going to take that bet. And took the bet, went and did a crash course, passed the test, and kind of the rest is history. We didn't have enough money for our first spec. We had to have a $10,000 escrow amount for the interest on the loan that would accrue during construction, and hopefully had enough left before it sold. Yeah. And so we had two golden doodles that just one of them just came into heat. So we bred them, and that's sold the puppies, and that's how we started Walraven Signature Homes.
Wow. Well, you've been with Smith Marketing, working with us for a long time, and talk about how we can't take any credit other than my mom.
I'll give all the credit to your mom.
Tell everybody about how you and Mom got together and how that kind of helped you a little bit jumpstart.
No, not a little bit. I mean, she, I would say, outside of my wife and I's effort to build nice quality homes, she jump-started everything. And I was in Kernersville in a neighborhood called Shepherd's Run, and we had a house on the market. And back then I managed every single open house. I didn't care if an agent was there or not, I would be there. And she brought out a client, and we chatted, and she looked at the house, and she's like, how long you build and whatever, all the stuff Miss Betty always asked. And she said, why don't you build in Guilford County? I said, man, I can't get into those neighborhoods. I've called, tried to get in Brookhaven. I've tried to get over here. I've tried to get over there. And, she's like, I can get you over there. And I was like, I would love to be over there. And ironically, a friend, Karen, it used to be Kimry, now I think it's Greeny. She's like, you need to talk to Betty. And I never did. And when I met her, she was wonderful. And we started in, Kensington Place, I believe.
Yeah, no Ridge.
I built one in there, and then she got me with Kevin Odie when he had Hunter's Mark, and we built out 3 or 4 in there. And then, it went crazy. Gates of Brassfield, Grandover, and then I got with you, and we got into tail into Brookhaven, and that was, I think, starting in 2010.
Yeah, I think it's around 2010.
Yeah. And from that point on, she's always been there. We wanted to go to Grandover, and the bank was not working with us on our line of credit. And as everybody knows, banks are the hardest part of building. And she got me hooked up with an investor, and I guess the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, you grew really fast, and
thanks to Miss Betty.
And you're here today, and you're in a lot of neighborhoods, which we'll get to in a minute. But tell us about the first home you ever built, and a little bit about that first build job. What was it like when you built your first house?
So that's a kind of a story in itself. I was still working for my brother. It was in '08, and Shepherd's Run. Mike Turner owned that neighborhood. He's also an agent, and he just gave me an opportunity to. The first one we were actually building for ourselves. I had a good job. I was making pretty good money. Again, no kids. So we started this house. It was 20, on paper it was like 26. We finished some extra space. It was like 27 and some change. And I poured all the concrete countertops, and I just loved it. I had nobody to answer to. Kind of come and go as you please, but you got to see something you thought up in your head, put on paper, and then come to life, essentially. And so we built it. I did a ton of the work on the first house myself. We did all the grading, clearing, concrete work, the tops. We did all the cleaning, erosion control, the landscaping. And I just decided one day that I wanted to sell it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I think I was 26 years old, 27 years old. And So I asked Mike, I said, what can we sell this house for? And I knew exactly how much we had into it. And because of my relationship with some of the vendors through my brother, I got some really good pricing on, the materials, and I did a lot of labor. So we listed it, and I didn't tell my wife because she was going to kill me. And when I finally told her, I said, we'll give it till, if we don't sell it by the time our closing date comes along. And this was in like October, and our closing date was the first week in December. And we were at a gathering, kind of like a Christmas party, but it was a little early. And I got the call that we got a full price offer. And
oh, wow.
I mean, that was it. I told my brother I was.
You got the bug.
Oh man, I've been building stuff my whole life.
Yeah.
So it worked out awesome. There were some times where it got anxious, but you know as well as I do, this industry is tough, and we own a grading company. And when people ask, how's home building? For us, we've been very fortunate. We build a pretty consistently, neutral home. We put all the bells and whistles in it, but we try to keep it classic and timeless, because, I'm looking at an investment property right now. It needs a whole reno because it's so 1990.
Yeah.
And we try to, keep it simple, clean lines. And I always kind of liken Walraven Signature Homes from, out of the other businesses as just kind of like a locomotive. It chugs along, it does well, and we keep doing what we love.
Yeah. What's been one of the biggest lessons? We just talked about this off camera, but what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned in all of your years of building that you can take away from the home building process?
Well, there is so many lessons. And I get asked this question occasionally by younger guys that come in for summertime work, or guys that want to do it. And, I joke all the time. I'm like, oh, you want to be a contractor? Jump in. Water's warm. It's great. And I'm being facetious, but it is great. It's very challenging. I didn't go to college, barely made it through high school. But I think, my dad told me, there's several things my dad told me, and I'm going to say two of them here. He told me when I was young, you have your name and your word. If you can't stick to those two things, you'll never be anything. Meaning, if you're going to disparage your name or embarrass your parents or your brother or your sister or your family members by something you say or do, then it's a recipe for disaster. And then if you don't stick to your word, if you tell somebody you're going to do it, and if you can't do it, tell them you can't do it, and I think communication and I've raised my family, built our businesses off of that, and communication, honesty, and doing what you say you're going to do, I think are key. So, and then, hiring good professionals, meaning accountants, lawyers for the times, contract work, disputes, all that, having good lawyers and good accountants to help guys like me. I didn't go to college, you know what I mean? So I don't have any accounting experience. Thankfully, I married the woman I did. Has a banking background, so she's helped a lot. But I think I guess one of the most important lessons make sure your contracts are clear and concise. Yeah. Properly set expectations. These people are going to spend, 90% of the time, they're spending the most money they've ever spent in their entire life. Yeah. And they're entrusting you with that. Yeah. And for us as builders, and even you as agents, it's a house. Yes, it's important and special to us because it's our product, it's our name, it's our livelihood. However, it's their everything. Home is where the heart is, and family gathers at home. They eat dinner at home. They have their fights at home. They have their happiness at home, and you're building that for somebody. And so you have to understand that you're making decisions on a business level, which good businessmen don't make emotional decisions. They're making every decision on emotion. Everyone likes and wants and habits they live, and what their wife wants, what their husband wants, what Johnny wants, what Susie wants. And it's all an emotional experience. And so you got to really be cognizant of that. So when you're communicating with them, you don't sound brash. And, yes, you do have to pay for that. No, I can work with you on that. And just the way you communicate and knowing that it's huge is important. And probably the biggest one is you don't know how their day has been so far. So you got to always kind of treat it like you don't know if they just got their ass chewed at a meeting. You don't know if they're arguing with their spouse. And so you got to kind of have thick skin, ducks back, let it roll off, keep moving. Don't let it affect your day. And remember and remind them constantly that when this is done, you're going to love it. I promise.
Yeah. Well, we're going to kind of take a slide here and just, I'd be remiss if I didn't I want to mention your family. Obviously, you just talked about Danielle, who's obviously a big part of your business,
Yep.
and then your children. He has a daughter and a son.
2 daughters.
And 2 daughters. Oh, that's
Yep.
right, 2 daughters
Yep.
and a son. Look,
Yep.
and your son's. I always think it's pretty cool. He races quads, correct?
He races side by side.
Side by side.
He's
okay.
Sponsored by Polaris. He races all over the country. He's been racing now for 5 years, and a kind of a family thing. I raced motocross. My dad traveled the country with me, but outside of that, he's just a special little guy. He's plays,
pretty active in all things.
He plays travel baseball, travel football, races.
And your daughter, what is she into?
Gosh, Adeline's coming up on 15, so she's into her phone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's
15.
yeah, she's 15. She's as tall as my wife, and
Wow.
it's definitely staggering at times. But she's into music and kind of the opposite of Xander. All 3 of them are incredibly intelligent, do great in school.
That's great.
Adeline's arts, and she can draw like nobody I've ever seen. So she's
cool.
All into that stuff.
Cool. Well, I'd like for everybody to know a little bit about your life outside of building.
And I have to mention Emmy though, because if she sees this video, and I don't talk about the little one.
Let's talk about her.
So she's she's awesome. She's 9. She's got she's into competitive gymnastics and swimming and all the stuff that 9-year-olds are into. Super student, all very thoughtful kids. So Danielle are very
Do you
blessed.
drag them to the races?
So Mama,
quite tough.
Well, it is, and Mama's pretty serious about school, which I may take a little bit, more whatever, because
We know who's running the house.
Well, yeah, get out of here. And so she, the first 2 races this season, the girls didn't go. This weekend is Crandon. It's probably the 2nd largest race of the season in Crandon, Wisconsin. And so we'll all fly up there and grab the motorhome from a buddy's shop. We keep it up there because diesel fuel is too expensive.
I mean, that's right.
So yeah, they come to about 70% of them.
Cool. Matt's got a cool family, y'all. It's pretty neat. Tell me about we're getting back to building now. What is your favorite part of the home building process? So I know there's so many, from the time you meet somebody till they move in their home, there's a lot of stuff in between. What in between there is your favorite part?
Man, there's
Handing
a lot
them
of
the keys.
Yeah, I mean, getting a check's not bad.
Getting a check.
You
No,
know,
that's probably.
I'm going to your office here in a moment.
Okay.
But there's so many great things. We've changed our organization from when we started. We have 2 PMs, we have a full-time office staff. So we kind of subscribe to this, operating procedure called EOS. It's the Entrepreneurial Operating System. Teaches you how to compartmentalize everybody's position, delegate. So my job as the visionary is to manage sales, marketing, and quality control. So, I love all aspects of building. I love when you're digging footings and pouring concrete. I love watching it turn into something. I always kind of chuckle when you get the foundation done and you're like, this is too small. It's not the right size. And then
Isn't that weird?
It every time. And you start getting walls up and you're like, oh, okay. It's actually what we put on the plan.
It is.
But seeing the pretty stuff come in, I like the bones, as a builder. The bones are just as important as the pretty stuff, but it gets exciting when you can see the paints and the trim and the cabs and the granite and everything come in. We've got such a plethora of amazing vendors and subcontractors that we've worked with for years and years and years. And so you kind of already know what the quality is going to look like, but when it comes together and you're taking pictures and you're getting the final clean done and seeing the landscaping, that's when, for me, when it gets the most exciting.
Yeah. All right, so in closing here, I just want to say, I didn't say at the beginning, we are here at Summerfield Farm in Summerfield, just outside the market, which is across from us. And I wanted to say Matt is currently building with us in Grandover. If I miss anything, tell me. But Grandover, Pemberley Estates, we're finishing up there. Riverside, finishing up Manderley and Oak Ridge. He's also going to be joining us in a new project in Oak Ridge called Old Mill Estates. And did I miss anything?
We have several other neighborhoods. I'm not trying to cuss at anybody, but we've got Saddleford, and then we have Oak Ridge Landing. And then we build a lot for private individuals on their own land, estates, I think you've covered them all. We've done some at the beach, which was
So Matt, if people want to reach out to you, just tell them how they can find you real quick. Is your website?
The website's great. You can contact us through the info@walravensignaturehomes.com. You can email me at matt@walravensignaturehomes.com, or you can call me, text me. If you Google me, I'm not hard to find, unfortunately. But, you know, we're happy to help design all the way to finish line.
All right. Well, you're the first builder on More Than a Home episode, and thank you.
No, I appreciate
awesome
it, Jason.
working with you for a long time.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you want to catch past episodes or future episodes with our builders, you can go to triadnewhomeguide.com.